the loser of Origin has to strike or has to record a tourism ad for the winner's state.
That's good.
So he'll have to put on budgie smugglers and head down to Bondi. And
well, it's a brave move. It's one of the bravest moves we've seen for Queensland in Origin to drop their captain. I just think it's Dearden's time. He's played 4 Origin, maybe 5. He's 24, 25. But we know DCU's 36. Something had to change.
And we do have some breaking news as well on the great 8th immortal, Andrew Johns. So
What have you done?
we'll tell you very shortly. Yes, hello and welcome to another episode of Freddy and the Eighth. Great to have your company. Of course, we are proudly brought to you by Sportsbet, and great to see you, Andrew Johns, Brad Fittler.
Danica?
Hello, Danica.
How are we all feeling midway through the week and midway through the season?
What do they call midway?
Hump day.
Hump day.
Humping day.
Hump.
Oh, hump day.
Not humping. Hump.
Sorry.
Halfway through the season, it's awesome. What a great year it's been.
Fantastic. And you get the feeling that it's going to get even
better and
more
better.
exciting.
What do you think about the ladder? Do you think the team, so what do you got? You got Canterbury, Canberra, Warriors, Melbourne. Do you think they'll change?
No, I think they'll all be.
They'll be top 4.
Well, Raiders have still got 3 buys. Raiders are a lock-in. I think Melbourne are a lock-in, the other 2. Well, who's coming 5th? I think the Sharks are two wins out.
Yeah.
No, I think the top 4 stays.
The Raiders are interesting with the buys.
3 buys, yeah.
3 buys.
They're locked in.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good job to Ricky's men. All right, well, we've got a huge show coming up here today on Freddy and the Eighth. We cannot wait for this one. One of our best and biggest guests so far, the New South Wales Premier, Chris Minns, joins us on the couch. We also cross into Blues camp with State of Origin teams named. We'll run our eyes over them. Plus, we're going to be previewing a huge weekend of footy too. So much to look forward to. And we do have some breaking news as well on the great 8th immortal, Andrew Johns. So
What have you done?
we'll tell you very shortly. All right, let's get into it and talk about things that have been... I think that's a shorter list. Around the grounds, what about this? Monday, we had the Bulldogs with another fantastic win. The fans, this is just such a good showing. We've seen game after game where they've had so many people out and about.
I went out there on Monday to watch the game. Took a couple of schoolmates, actually. One of them's a mad Bulldogs fan. And not only the team's obviously performing well, but you can just tell the whole club is doing a fantastic job. The entertainment on the day, you know, the way the team runs out, they obviously walk across from the hotel, you know, the way they enter the field, there's a light show going on. The whole thing is just entertaining, and, you know, the team's just actually just capping it off. And I was up, Chris Minns was actually a couple of boxes up from where I was sitting, and just watching them react to what was going on as well was awesome.
And the team responds. They lift because of it.
Is it also a smart move as well? You're doing this in the season so that maybe potentially if they do make it to the grand final, it's not as...
They're used to it.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not as overwhelming.
It's an event to get there.
They're used to big occasions. That's what they said about the first time they walked over. That was Easter weekend when they played South, and there was, I think, 65,000.
Yeah, Good Friday.
So they walked over, basically just getting people used to, you know, getting them used to lifting their heart rate,
and the
dealing with
fanfare
it.
that surrounds it all. Yeah, well, good job to all the Bulldogs fans as well. And we've also got probably one of the best rugby league photos we have ever seen. Have a look at this. I don't get it.
Well, it's called Pure Joy.
It's been 14.
Oh, I get... Who is it? Do you...
It's Murray.
Oh, do you...
It's our man Murray.
Is that one of our producers here on Fred in the Eighth?
Oh,
Yeah, it's a very exciting kid. That actually took me a minute to work out. That is...
I can't believe he put it on himself.
You're just giving yourself up.
Are you mad?
We've got our producer talking to us right now. He's denying that it's him. So if you at home know who that is or know related or anything, send us an email. Of course, our email address is still going, f8@9.com.au. We've had some great emails in so far. What were we going to say, Joey? It's like...
Nah, I'm not going to say it.
Well, he certainly enjoyed his time at the footy too.
Oh, I bet you he did.
All right, let's talk a bit of State of
see the
Origin. I don't think so. He didn't see kickoff, that's for sure.
He dreamt of that night.
Origin selections.
Yes.
There has been a lot of change. For Queensland's obviously the big one. A week ago, we sat here on the lounge and we spoke about Billy Slater, whether he would choose Tom Dearden or Daly Cherry Evans for the number 7 jersey. You were very strong on the fact that you thought that he should have chosen Dearden, but I remember asking you, do you think that he'll make that tough call? And you didn't think he did.
I didn't think he
would. What did you make of it then when Bill did pull the trigger?
Well, it's a brave move. It's one of the bravest moves we've seen for Queensland in Origin to drop their captain. I just think it's Dearden's time. He's played 4 Origin, maybe 5. He's 24, 25. But we know DCU's 36. Something had to change. They scored 1 try in 2 games, and that was off an error. A big tackle from Jeremiah Nene. So something isn't working. So they had to pull the trigger. Just had to. But it's a big call. A very brave call.
If you look at Tommy Dearden's last 2 games, they played Manly and were in the game and got beat. They also played Melbourne, where they were in the game for about 30 minutes, 35 minutes or so, and got beat as well. So, you know, it's a big difference coming onto the field as a utility to being the starting number 7 as well. So it's a massive job. But I feel like Billy doesn't learn anything, or Queensland don't, if they don't pull the trigger. But this is the game, I think. Put it under pressure and just see how they go. You know, obviously he's asking his team to play on effort, because that's what Tom Dearden's all about, is effort. So it's not going to be about structure and tactics. It's going to be about effort and getting the result through that way.
And this is the thing as well. The series is on the line. This is the time that you are going to have to make that big call.
Well, you can look at it another way. Everyone's saying New South Wales is going to win. People are saying New South Wales is going to clean sweep. So you can say, well, there's probably less pressure on Tommy, or you look at it the other way. The series is on the line. I just think it is his time now. Now, if you say in 3 or 4 years' time who's going to be the halfback for Queensland, you're saying Tom Dearden, or in the halves, whether it's him and Sammy Walker or him or whoever. But he's going to be in the halves for the next probably 20 games. Now's the time to get him in there.
Another big decision that Queensland had to make this week, the captaincy. Cameron Munster named as captain. What did you make of this call? Was this a no-brainer?
No, it's a smart move. That man on screen would have went close, Tina. I think also Harry Grant. But I just think we all know Munster's Munster. He's a larrikin and a lunatic. But sometimes at this stage of his career, you just need a bit of extra motivation. And he's played in that. He's played in that the most famous Rugby League jersey, the number 6 Queensland jersey, played by Wally Lewis, Jonathan Thurston, Darren Lockyer. It's a very famous jersey, and all those players have captained. Maybe not Jonathan Thurston, but it's their time. Number 6, Queensland. But to see next to his name, watch him lift.
And he most really needs it. I don't think his form's been outstanding. I think his reaction was, when he got the call from Billy, was that he thought he might have been getting dropped. So that was in gist, but I think he most really needs a little something at the moment, and their team definitely does. If you give it to Tino, Tino's on the field for half the game. You know, so you miss out on, you know, the leadership you're looking for the other half. So I think it's a good move, and it's up to him now.
And that's the thing as well with Munster. He's such a competitor. I think that obviously he's got quite a larrikin personality off the field, and so not a lot of people see that. But he is just, he cares so much about the result. And
I think a lot of it's smoke, not a lot of it, some of it's smoke and mirrors also. He plays up to it.
But he's made big changes this year. You can see looks different. You know, there's obviously his whole life's changed. He's got 3 kids now, married. It's all, you know.
2, I think.
2, is it?
Well, you got a scoop for it.
It's only 2?
Yeah, it's only 2.
Righto. I think I was talking to Marie about it this morning. I think she told me 3, so I'm going to blame Marie on that.
Okay.
But, yeah, now's the time. Good luck to him.
Yeah, well, there you go. It's going to be an interesting one, an interesting showdown at Optus Stadium in Perth. That is now just a week away as well. And don't forget as well, all the action exclusive, live and free right here on Nine's Wide World of Sports. We cannot wait for that. And we will be chatting all things New South Wales as well, coming up very shortly. But stick around, because we are joined by a very special guest up next.
Sorry about the weather yesterday. We hope it comes good today. And I'm sorry about the performance of the Cowboys.
How would you go running it straight at Chris Mims? How would you
Can
go?
we tee that up?
Yeah.
I'm in if he's in.
Okay, Chris. Come on, mate.
Lindsay.
Come on, Lindsay. Freddie's man.
Midget
Look at him.
smasher.
Please.
Freddie's going to tee it up.
Please.
His tackling techniques are
Half time of Origin 1, you think?
Yeah.
Let's tee it up.
That'd be
Origin
cool,
1, New South Wales v Queensland for the Premiers. Got to
Yeah.
love it.
Well, there you go. We are very close to teeing it up because I'm pleased to say the New South Wales Premier Chris Minns joins us here on the couch. Great to see you. Thanks for joining us as well. Have you heard anything from the Queensland Premier?
He didn't mention that. No, he was a bit quiet on the run it straight challenge. But we're not close at all to that happening. There's no way I'm going to do that. But he's good value. He's good fun.
He's a good fella. He's seen a real knockabout.
Yeah, he's good fun. And we text a lot about natural disasters or things that need to happen on the border, and he's very helpful. He sent a ton of SES volunteers from Queensland down to the mid-north coast during the recent floods, which was, genuinely, we needed it. It was fantastic.
Is that always the way? Premiers always working together?
I think in the past there's been bluing between different premiers. Sometimes in the same party. He's in the other party from me, but mostly across Australia, people will put down, their spears if there's something that needs to be done, which is what I think everyone would expect anyway, right?
You think so?
Do you have a bet going for Game 2 or the Origin series as a whole with him?
Yeah, we were searching around for one, and eventually we came across the idea. We only struck the deal after Origin 1 was completed, actually. So the loser of Origin has to strike or has to record a tourism ad for the winner's state.
That's good.
So he'll have to put on budgie smugglers and head down to Bondi and
We'll get him up at Cessnock.
get him up the Cessnock.
Advertising the Hunter Valley.
Absolutely.
I'd love him in
do a vineyard
Cessnock.
tour of the Hunter Valley. That'd be perfect.
Mate, why politics? It looks like such a brutal sport, politics. Why? And then what's the process? There's councils, state politics, federal. How have you come about being the Premier?
Yeah, I mean, it was a long road. I always liked it. I was interested in it when I was a kid. My old man was not so much interested in politics, but a big Labor guy. And really, he sort of talked about it a lot. My brother and my sister got into it that way. I was the only one that joined. And he joined the party very briefly, but went to a branch meeting and thought it was just a racket and thought, I'm not getting involved. But I kept at it, and ever since I've been 17, I've been a member, and
right.
I've largely enjoyed it. I mean, it can be stressful and difficult at times, but most of the time it's good fun.
And you're a Dogs fan?
Massive Dogs
You must
fan.
be pumped. It's how they're going.
They're playing so well. I was just saying to Dunica that I don't really want to put the mocker on them. It's just such a great season. And I was surprised that they made such a big move on Lockie Galvin. But seemingly on the basis of Monday's game, it was the right call. And I reckon, we were talking about it in the office. There's heaps of Bulldogs fans in the office, Sarah and James, and everybody's a mad Dogs fan. And we were talking about the move and how he was going to move into the halves potentially, and what a big call it was given the team was coming first. And the fact that it went off without a hitch, I reckon a lot of the credit should go to Sexton, actually, because there's no social media posts, there's no leaking to the media, it's just straight, he just gets on with it. So they seem to have a good culture, and culture is probably what wins premierships.
Well, you would have been involved with some good operators. Phil Gould, the way he's turned that club around, what he did at Penrith, now at the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Must be a great operator. You must admire what he's done.
Yeah, he's seemingly ruthless, but that's what you need to win a competition. Yeah. And as a Bulldogs fan, it's fantastic to see. Also the Warriors as well. He was involved over there as well. So he's obviously knows what he's doing. But look, I think they've got what it takes. But they're obviously a young team, and they seem to have that grit. Their back row is incredible.
Well, the whole team's like that. I made mention after the game, and it's like every Bulldogs game, to go to pick a man of the match, you're like, don't really know.
Yeah.
They all seem to chip in so well.
Work so hard for each other.
Yeah, they do.
It's such a team effort there. I want to know for you in your current job at the moment, it does seem like such a high pressure position. What does a day in the life of the New South Wales Premier entail?
Well, it's sort of different every day. You spend a lot of time in the car. I get up really early. I think Sydney's an early morning town. Like if you go down to the beach, or Cronulla or Bondi, it's full of people, Centennial Park. Everybody's doing exercise. So I get up early. And
You train early?
Yeah, I do a bit of training I do a little bit of something every day, so it might be just 20 minutes or 40 minutes, but that's enough. It's more for my mental health, I think, than my physical health. And then you're into the day. Sometimes I've got things on at night, but usually you're just in the car. One of the good things about politics, and one of the reasons I'm involved in it, is that no 2 days are the same. So if you like variety, it's a good job because it might be a disaster, but it's something different. Monday can be different to Tuesday. And often if you've had a bad Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, your luck can turn around by the weekend. The reverse is true as well, but, you know, what do you do?
We seem to have no luck with Rose Hill. Now, that was something everyone was listening to and everyone was watching. I think everyone who knows the area could see the benefit. I couldn't really understand the other side of it, but what was it like? Obviously working with Peter, and then the other side is not getting the result.
Peter V'landys.
Peter V'landys.
Yeah. I mean, there's no point in lying about it. I was disappointed. And I think probably the temptation is to say, oh, no big deal. I would have loved it. I reckon it would have been great for Sydney. I'm disappointed it didn't go through. But our housing crisis is so great. We've got reports into the government that show we lose twice as many young people as we gain every year in Sydney. And this week, Sydney was named the most expensive city on earth. So we've got all these commissions and reports that come back and say, if you don't have young people, then you don't have a future. And so rather than sort of crawling up in a ball, I think we need to take more chances, more opportunities for housing, more apartments, more units so that people can live near their mum and dad, live near their grandparents. Because at the moment, a lot of people I grew up with and the generation below me are saying, I'm packing it in. I'm going to Brisbane or I'm heading out west or going to Melbourne, and that's at a big loss for us.
I've got a solution for you.
Here we go.
Here we go. We've been waiting
So
for
you
this
sell off
one.
the rest
There's a
of Shark.
censor button.
Sell off the rest of Shark Park, which isn't too much. But the big one is you sell that whole block at Cogra Oval, and then you build a boutique stadium at Brighton Le Sands, or maybe down at Waterfall or in the Shire somewhere.
Yeah. Right. Well,
Me and
Freddie
can sort it.
So you'd have apartment blocks where Cogra and where
It's a
Shark
huge
Park
block,
was.
the whole
Yeah.
block there,
Yeah.
and then you sell off the rest of Shark Park. Then you have a little boutique stadium, which is sort of towards Wollongong, Waterfall there, the national park, and then people from the Shire don't have to travel too far. You know what it's like from the Shire?
Yeah.
They close
They
the
don't like
gates.
travelling. They don't like travelling.
Yeah.
But if it's there, we've got the train line there at Waterfall.
Yep. Oh, that's true.
What do you reckon?
I like it.
Thank you.
I like Brighton. I think Brighton. Imagine a stadium at Brighton. That would be feral.
Out on the water.
So that's
Make it
Belmore. Oh, you sell Belmore too.
Yeah, we're selling a lot of land. It sounds
Well,
like
there's a
Joey
development
there.
going on at Belmore, so that whole eastern
They
side.
do. The Dogs do play a
the
couple of
hill.
games there every year,
Yes.
don't they? Yeah.
One.
And
They
they
played the first
They
one.
train out of there, don't they?
Yeah,
They
they
do.
need to have a base to train
And the
out of.
NRLW, and they also have they pretty much have every grade covered. So they've got a couple of grounds out the back. I was out there the other day actually with the NRLW team.
Oh, yeah.
They're doing a really good job.
Well, we would look at it. The big problem with the plan is the Dragons fans and the Sharks fans don't tend to want to share a stadium. You
You're
know?
the boss, mate.
You're the boss.
Well, I don't get for either of them.
Apparently the Roosters and Souths don't like sharing the stadium.
Yeah, but Souths are up for it, so.
What's the go there? Like, what'll happen there, do you think, between the Roosters and
As
Souths?
in the Souths going back to Moore
Yeah.
Park. Look, it's a tough one for us because obviously there's a contract in place out at Homebush, but we're talking to all parties, and look, these are difficult things to manage. The good news is everybody's been sort of putting the boot into a call for a long time. 60,000 people on Monday, the biggest crowds we've seen in the NRL for suburban week-by-week games in years, and that wouldn't happen if we didn't have a giant stadium out there. So I think we can get the balance right, but I don't know. We haven't got a solution at the moment.
Like, we're both out there. I saw you down a couple of boxes. I was spying on you.
He actually took a photo of you and sent it to us.
A little bit of paparazzi. Normally the paparazzi is around these two, but it was around you the other day. A roof on a stadium.
Yep.
Will that ever happen in Sydney?
It could. I mean, again, super expensive. My issue at the moment is we've got to get our finances under control.
How long does that take? Like, you say you've got to get your finances under control. So do you hear that across the world at the moment?
Yeah.
Now, how long does it take to actually turn your finances around?
We work in 4-year cycles, so we do the budget for this year, and then we effectively do the budget for the next 4 years as well. So generally speaking, you have in your mind's eye, I hope this problem will be solved over a 3 or 4 year cycle, not generally beyond that. my problem, Freddie, is I can't jack taxes up on anybody anymore. You know, people are paying more than they've ever paid for rent, for mortgages, for going to the supermarket.
Tolls.
And I cannot jack up anyone's taxes even a cent, because understandably, when you live in the most expensive city on earth, there's no room to move. Everybody's back pocket is completely bare.
What about junior sport? How to keep more kids playing sports? Generally around that age of 14, 15, where it sort of drops off. How do we keep more kids in sport? But also on the women's side of things, the women's rugby league has gone through the roof. So how do we keep more kids playing sport, but also encourage young girls to continue to play sport? Yeah,
we've worked with Peter, the NRL, Peter Volandis and the NRL about state government support for the women's competition, which is just massive and growing every single year. Also, the competition's just so healthy at the moment. I think this is probably the key as a parent. I reckon this is the key issue because it's so difficult to get kids off electronic devices. They're designed to keep you hooked. And I find it difficult to rip myself away from a mobile phone or an iPad. And obviously I'm an adult. I don't know why we would expect a kid to have the self-control and the discipline to put down an addictive
why can't we make
addictive
laws?
technology.
Like there are stuff now at schools.
China do it, don't they?
You're only allowed to play
I
one day a
reckon the
week.
best thing we did since we got elected was to ban mobile phones in schools. In public schools in New South Wales, and if you speak to principals, they'll say, yeah, look, it's been pretty good in the classroom, a bit more interaction with the teacher, but the big benefit has been at recess and lunchtime.
Yeah.
Previously, you'd look at a schoolyard, everyone would be not talking with one another, but almost texting each other, even if they were 6 feet from each other. And now you've got to talk, they're playing sport, basketball is huge, football and soccer is picking up, and I reckon it's as a result of that change.
Yeah.
South Australia did it first, we did it second, the private schools followed us, and now every other state's pretty much in the cart for it.
Would you ever go harder? Because I know that, especially with kids, they're always going to try and find a loophole. I know, kids text each other from watches and everything now. There's always some new technology, from smart watches. They can call each other. Yeah, what do you mean you can call people from your watch and text people from your watch and...
Smart.
So there's nowhere you can hide these days.
There's nowhere that you can hide.
You can leave your mobile phone at home, but
You've got to wear the glasses. You can wear the glasses, have cameras on.
Yeah, the Ray-Bans, yeah.
Wow. What about Origin? You going over to Perth?
No, I'm not going.
How do you think we'll go?
I mean, I think we'll win, but, the Queenslanders seem to rally off the back of feeling umbrage at New South Wales slides, so I'm a bit worried about that. But they just seem to have them all over the park, and they're in rare form, the New South Wales team. Seem like they've got a lot of depth as well. And I really want them to do well. I think that I think that they could, go the whole way and have a sweep. But probably more important than that, the team that's going through looks like they could dominate for years, and I guess that's the best thing from New South Wales' perspective.
Yeah, good signs for New South Wales. Before we let you go, if the Dogs win the grand final, how would you celebrate?
You'd be in
Well,
Belmore.
I don't drink.
You're doing burnouts in Belmore.
I don't know. I mean, I'd probably... My middle boy, Nicholas, is a nut for the Bulldogs. He absolutely loves them. So, yeah, I'll probably celebrate with him.
All right.
If you don't drink, how's that go down to the Labor Party with Bob Hawke's antics?
Well, he didn't. He gave it up too.
I had a few sessions with Bob.
Did you? Yeah,
I couldn't keep up with his sap.
Yeah.
He's A-grade.
He's going all right.
He's
You
A-grade.
couldn't keep up with him.
No, that's a lie.
Well, thanks so much for joining us here on Freddy the Eighth. Great to have you on. You're probably our most famous and respectable guest we've ever had. So love hearing that you love tuning in as well, and go the Blues.
Yeah, love tuning in. Thanks so much.
All right, well, stick around. Plenty more coming up here on Freddy the Eighth. Up next, we're going to be talking all things footy across the weekend. It kicks off with an absolute cracker between the Sharks and the Dragons.
My inspiring teammate moment would have to be Craig Fitzgibbon. He's an amazing athlete, Fitzy. Such a tough bloke, tough player. It'd be hard to highlight so many different instances in games where he went above and beyond what normal people would do, but I do remember one try he scored in a semi-final against Newcastle.
Played back to Morris.
I reckon he must have ran 90 metres.
Intercepted by Fitzgibbon! Fitzgibbon striding over the halfway! He's running out of petrol!
I just remember that try for a back rower who just played 80 minutes every week. He took Matthew Gidley over the try line to score in the corner. I thought typified what he was capable of.
Well, from one great New South Wales back rower to another, I'm pleased to say Angus Crichton joins us live now from Blues camp. Good to see you, Angus. How has camp been so far? You've only been in for a few days, still in New South Wales at the moment.
How are you guys? Yeah, it's good. It's nice to be back with the boys and a few new faces in here too. So also building on those combinations that we started to forge last camp. It's been fun.
Just had a highlight of Craig Fitzgibbon. You were at the Roosters with Fitzy. What did you learn from him?
Yeah, actually, after one of the grand finals, I think it was, I don't remember, I'm not going to try to remember what year it was, but I was back at the Leagues Club and they wouldn't let me in because I was too young, but I got a Craig Fitzgibbon autograph from my godfather on a coaster. So that was pretty cool to be able to be coached by him, and obviously being around him in Origin camps when you were there, Freddie, and at the Roosters for a long period of time too. And he's just the kind of coach that you never want to let down. Like, I feel like he just gets disappointed in you if you do something like that. It's just like, I just don't want to upset Fitzy.
It's talk that there could be some complacency in New South Wales. Has there been a difference in feeling from game one to this one?
If anything, there's less complacency. I feel like there's more of an onus on, we haven't done anything yet. To be honest, if we don't perform, we're nothing pretty much. So, we're going to be making sure we're working for everything that we're going to get.
Obviously, the Blues had that change due to Mitch Barnett, with Max King then promoted to the starting side, Stefano Utoikamanu coming in on the bench. Queensland, they've made a fair bit of change as well. What did you make of them dropping Daly Cherry Evans, their skipper?
You're freezing on me here, Danica. I'm assuming you asked about Barney. But, yeah, Max King's going to do a great job coming in, and Steph's been fantastic too. He was around all of the last camp, and he was ready to go if Payne wasn't going to be right. So Steph's been around, knows all the plays. He's trained alongside our halves and everyone in the full pack as well. So those guys were really confident in them coming in to step up and make sure they do a job, which is it's a big hole to fill. Barney was such a big part of our team, and our thoughts are with him, and we love him and we'll miss him.
Danica was talking also about the changes that Queensland have made. Do you feel like they're going to be a different proposition? Obviously, they're going to have the motivation of losing in game one. But what about from a point of view of the footy? Obviously, Dearden's a really big one, but also some changes in the back row as well. What difference do you think there'll be?
Yeah, it's obviously a lot of changes, and we knew they're going to be making sure that they're going to be up for this game. It's obviously do or die for them, and we're expecting them to come at their full powers. And it's interesting. I don't know if what they've named that'll be the team that plays, but I guess we'll find out on the night who's actually going to be. I was surprised because I thought Jeremiah was one of their best. So I guess we'll find out on the night. But to be honest, Fred, we're pretty focused on ourselves. Hey, I think that's the thing about these big games. You got to make sure that we're the tightest group that we can be, and got so much trust, so much faith in this side that we can go and put in a really strong performance against whoever's in front of us. Doesn't matter who it is.
We'll talk about ourselves. Payne Haas, the machine that is Payne Haas. When you're out there watching him play, what are you thinking?
Yeah, you just jump on the back of him and go with him. I think he's such a force and he's such a powerful guy. And obviously in the pack we've got great players all across the board in the team. We've got leaders from 1 to 17, and a guy like Payne, he just says, follow me and come with me. And he's a freak.
Mate, the other one is the bloke that defends next to you, Stephen Crichton. Like, what about him at the moment? He must be a joy just to be playing with out there.
Yeah, he's on the other side. I've got Trell.
He's on the other side.
But Critter, he shows how much footy you watch these days, Fred. But he's honestly, you're right. He's the best defensive centre in the comp, I think. Just the reassurance that he gives the whole edge. I think it's not through the amount of tackles that he does, but it's movements in between the plays. Just shores up their edge so hard. I think the biggest one. Like when I think we were down a man, and they throw it out, and Critter picks him up and takes him over the sideline. It's such a big play for our team.
What about Trelly? How's he come into camp?
Yeah, Latrell, mate, he's a freak, and Trell just does what Trell does. I think similar to Payne, you just watch him go and chase him and hope I'll get a little offload and cross the white stripe. But yeah, I love playing with Trell. I've obviously been in a lot of big games with him, won premiership with him, and is back to the fittest I think I've seen him. So even Origin last year, game 2 MCG, he just come in and so much confidence and just says, follow me.
Hey, we're disappointed you're wearing a beanie. You've obviously got a barbershop, AC Flow, but you're not exactly promoting it.
I know. It's all right. I don't have the best head of hair myself, so I've got to wear a beanie. But no, I haven't had a haircut for a while because we've been in camps and that. So I'm just doing my own home jobs in the mirror at the minute. But I have to get a haircut when we're in Perth.
You obviously cut the hair. Do you also do men's Brazilians?
Asking for a friend.
Yeah, I think we can make an exception for you, Joe.
Yeah. Well, you need those big clippers. You'll need that.
The second tiers.
Second
Make sure
tiers.
we get some big waxing strips for you.
Just a couple of different combs. It's going to block. It's a good chance it's going to block.
Hey, you guys are sickos, man. I don't know what you guys are getting up to.
You don't want to know, Angus.
Yeah, I don't. I really don't.
Well, there was this time we roomed together. Oh, no, we'll leave it there.
Keep going.
No.
Who's your roommate? Do you get a roommate or you're on your own?
We've all got our own rooms these days. It's a bit different from. I remember my debut year with you, Fred, the Peach. It was pretty funny room with him, but yeah, I think it's a thing of the past now. The roomies. I think because the camps are so long and that they give everyone their own room.
Oh, the head noise would be deafening.
I think some people do better on their own.
Yeah.
All right, thanks so much, Angus. Well done. We can't wait to see you in action on Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of camp too.
No worries, guys. Thanks for having me on.
There you go. So you want to elaborate on any of those stories?
What time is it?
I'll tell you what, he's in a really good
late at
headspace,
night.
Angus. His footy's been great.
He's recently married too.
Recently married.
He
Been good to watch.
Seems in a good place.
Yeah.
Seems really happy. Good on you, Angus.
Well,
Great
of course,
fella.
Yeah.
Great fella.
Of course, another big topic at the moment, the Kangaroos and any potential coaches. Any news?
News.
No news?
No news.
No news?
Well, both our work colleagues would be perfect. This one here, Freddie, but also Cameron Smith. I'd love to see the dream team come together.
Do you have some news for us?
I've been asked to be a selector. That was under Mal. I don't know how I'd go under the new regime. But I think it's
the meeting at?
myself and Boyd, Cordner. I think it's Lockie and Cameron.
Yep.
So just chit-chat. You know, the team pretty much picks itself. But toss up some ideas, especially young guys. You want to see blooded, take away on tour.
Does it change the way that when you're commentating now? Do you have that now in the back of your mind?
No, not at all. When I'm watching the games, I'm watching some of the younger players, how they're going.
Thinking about the future.
Yeah, but like, you know what, on tour, for a young player to come into camp, whether it be Origin or Australia, it's incredibly difficult. Like for a 19, 20-year-old, because 3, 4, 5 years ago, you're heroes and you're playing with them. So to get them in, even before they're ready to start, but get them in to get used to, you know, how it is and the intensity of training in those camps is, it's like playing. So you get them in early and get them used to it and go from there.
Pretty good opportunity this year. Since 2003, there hasn't been a game. And the one thing that's different is you're playing Great Britain. So you're playing everyone from up there, England, Ireland, Scotland. Kangaroo Tours, they're a really huge part of rugby league history, going back to all the way in the early 1900s, when Australia wasn't the dominant country. But it's an awesome opportunity to get over there. Mount Meninga's done an incredible job getting it back on the calendar. And whoever does get the job, if it's me or someone else, I think it'll be an incredible experience. Everton's sold out, Leeds is sold out, and they reckon 70,000, 80,000 at Wembley. Doesn't get any better than that.
And it's such a, it's sort of a bucket list thing as well to go watch a game of rugby league at Wembley.
It's different over there.
Yeah.
Totally different. They appreciate, they sing, but they clap the opposition. If you score a good try, they'll stand and clap. Go on, lad.
I'm going to try and come over. I'm going to try and...
I'll be over there.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah.
What are you doing over there?
Just a bit of
They're
work.
taking selectors over there, are they?
Yeah, it's selected. Yeah. I'll take you to a tour around London.
Have you got anything planned on the agenda?
No, not really.
No?
Taking the family, so
Oh, that'll be fun.
there'll be no handcuffs this one. I hope.
No train rides,
No train rides.
Sure about that
Notting
one?
Hill train station.
black cabs.
All right, well... okay, well, we'll leave it at that one. Plenty more coming your way here on Freddy the Eighth. Up next, we're going to be looking at Freddy's tries of the week and the F8 medal votes too. Stick around.
First division today. I'll come back to that. Ainsko! Pins away! Gets acceleration from it. Bennett with Rodwell. Now it's away for Tracy. Wing pursues. Ainsko's there. Jamie gives it to Blacklock. Blacklock is in. That might be the best of 99. That was sensational. 32-0. How good was that?
That was exhilarating. It's the Dragons at their best. It's Rugby League at its best.
Rugby League at its absolute best, some thrilling tries there. So it is time for Freddy's tries of the week. Who are you adding to your list of flyers?
We'll see. It's a pretty good list. So just because you get admitted into the try of the week doesn't mean you get on the board. I'd like to say hi to Jamie Ainsko too. We grew up in the same area. What a legend he was. KP, the match winner. First try of the year. It doesn't make the board though, sorry mate. But great to see Newcastle get a result. They were down 16-0 at half-time.
Fletcher Hunt.
The two Fletchers, Hunt and Sharp, they were brilliant. So
Dirty haircut.
I actually, pre-game, I actually asked KP about the fact that he hadn't scored a try all year. Got a little stuck
Sorry,
into
KP.
him. At the end of the game, he came straight over and just pointed straight at me.
the next one is our big man, Puppy.
Oh.
What a day. What a day. Have a look at the try. Like, they're so subtle, his movements, for a big man getting to the back end of his career. You know, just those subtle movements. Have a look at this. Off the left foot, spin, turns his body the other way, forces himself through three players. Mate, what a player. And then kicks the goal. The coach is crying on the sideline. That is, and you get to start with that one, Pappy. Mitch, you're gone. Sorry, bro.
That was special, seeing the emotion on Ricky's face. He was in
That was
tears.
amazing. It was like
yeah.
movies. That was like movies. It was fantastic. Good on you, mate. And, of course, Monday, I was out there. I watched it. Lockie Galvin. You ever seen a player 19 years old deal with so much and do it so well as Lockie Galvin? Very hard not to watch everything he was doing as he got on, and he's just busy. You just watch him. He wants to be around the ball. And when this happened, the whole crowd just went mad. And I took a photo with my phone of him and his team at the back and his face on the screen scoring the try. It was hard not to get involved and be a Dogs fan for that moment right there. Lockie Galvin, you don't make the board, but it was awesome.
Our
well
man
done.
Carraz, 7 offloads. The whole
He
game.
was
That
fantastic.
extravagant running style.
Montoya's the same. They're
charges,
wingers, yeah, they're
Marcelo,
wingers. Go hard.
Some honourable mentions, but no one really, apart from Big Puppy,
Yeah.
can crack the top.
Look at that.
His goal kick was sweet. Someone said he's a scratch. Oh, he plays off 5 or
Really?
something in golf. Yeah, he's one of those
You just
natural.
see, though, his balance. When he, like, even when, well, he kicked the goal, but scoring those tries for a bloke that big, just move his body.
And what about our round 14 Freddy in the Eighth votes?
Katoni, he was unbelievable.
It was wild.
Both of us, Ethan Strange, what a player he is. Oh, surprise, surprise, I've gone with Isaiah Katoa.
Mate, it's stalking. Leave him alone.
I know.
You'll
What
have
a
police
player.
knocking on your door.
It was a 10 out of 10 the other day. Took the line on, total control of the game, kicked an amazing 40-20. They won by 56-6. It was on the back of this bloke. He's unbelievable.
Where do you
And-
rate him at the moment?
Don't ask that question,
No,
seriously.
but honestly,
Current form?
Yeah.
What a
Well, if you
wipe
go
his
current
dribble.
form and you scrap everything, past, performances, and I think him and Nathan are right at the top. This bloke is, and I've been crowing him for last year and especially the start of this year. He is as good as it gets. He has no weaknesses.
So you
And when
reckon
you
he's
watch
top
him,
two?
oh yeah, no, at the moment the way he plays. Shut up, Freddie. Sorry, Cody. Cody's my favourite. But Isaiah's creeping up there. I just sit and watch him play defensively. Doosh. Halfback who hits him. There's no weakness. It's only going to get better
His
and better.
defence was good on the weekend.
He's
Had a couple of strong hits.
tough boy.
Mate, the bloke I chose, Jerome Hughes, Dalian medalist.
That's what I was
He
going to say.
killed it. He was brilliant. Talk about halfbacks. We've got some good halfbacks at the moment.
There you go. All right, well, let's have a look at where it all stands at the moment. And Izzy Katoa, 12 points.
Oh, look who's at the top. Izzy and Nathan.
Yeah.
Mate, well, they won't let him on the boat. You know what I saw on Monday? Stu Laundy.
How's his head? He had that crash.
Oh, mate, he's buckled. He broke his rib, shoulder, something to do with his leg.
Lucky he landed on his head.
Well, because he's going to help us put together the end of year competition lunch.
He said, "You still come for a cruise?" I said, "Yep."
So who's our dream? Who's our dream to take?
You couldn't take Izzy. We wouldn't allow it.
No, can't corrupt him. Nathan's too.
We need Munster to keep playing.
Yeah, come on, Munster.
Come on,
Munster.
Munster.
And
Get off the drink.
if you're tuning in,
get on the drink.
Toby Rudolph, is he leading? We get Toby on there.
I saw Toby the other day. He'd be keen.
He's on the extended bench of the Sharks.
Yeah. He says he's recovering well. It's either this week or next week.
Cool.
So scan that QR code as well, and you could be joining us on. I think we decided it's going to be a boat, didn't we? It's safer out at sea.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Well, there's plenty to look forward to. All right, now Sportsbet having a crack. We also love Aussies who have a crack and get out and play each week. So we're going to be paying tribute to someone who did exactly that. Doesn't matter the result, but this one, they certainly got the result. That's for sure.
Watch the timing. He hits this about 50% of his power, which is lucky the ball would have exploded if you'd given it everything. But watch the timing and watch the balance. Watch it explode off his boot. He's hit that dead set. It was going 50 metres.
Oh, look at Ricky as well.
That was a special
There you
day.
go.
Yeah, that was cool.
And this one too, Sorenson.
Oh,
Scotty Sorenson he ran.
back Jerome Buller every day. Look at him. He's scoring.
Is that a hip drop, Freddie?
Oh, you know what?
A little bit.
They're getting them better, actually.
Great
hip
tackle.
drops. Took a while.
That's a special effort you need to win comps. They might look back at that tackle and go, well, that got us in the top 8 or got us somewhere.
All right, well, speaking of Sportsbet having a crack, let's check in with Sportsbet now. It's over to Joel Kane.
7 of the last 8 Wally Lewis medal winners. That's the player of the series, aged between 24 and 28. The one outlier, ironically, the Queensland coach, Billy Slater, who did it a bit older there. He brings in Tom Dearden at halfback. If they win the series, surely he plays a major part. $61.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Well, how good does that look? Optus Stadium, and that is where we will be coming to you from next week, a special Tuesday edition of Freddy the Eighth. We're going to be taking over Perth.
I love Perth.
I love Perth too. It's very fun.
Scarborough.
No one knows you. That's why it's good.
Benny, Cousins.
Might have lunch with
Lunch?
him. Yeah.
He's a good lad.
There you go. Get him on the show.
He's behaving himself nowadays.
We might have some special guests on the show next week
Yes.
too, so tune in for that one. All right, let's dive into a big preview of the footy coming up on Nine's Wide World of Sports this weekend. A few cracking matches as well. I'm looking forward to this one Thursday night. Sharks and Dragons, the local derby. This one from Shark Park. Who are we backing in this one?
I think the Sharks for me. Ronaldo's back.
Tipping rain.
I just feel like tipping rain tomorrow night, are they? I don't know, I just feel like they haven't been great the last couple of weeks. They've had 86 points scored against them in 2 weeks. Fitzy would hate that.
And they've had no Origin players.
No Origin players, yeah. No one.
And Sharks coming off a walloping from the Dolphins. I'll go Sharks by about 10. But no real confidence.
All right, what about Friday night footy? Titans and Seagulls. And you can imagine this one's going to be an interesting one. Daly Cherry Evans, he'll certainly have a point to prove.
Turbo back, Jake back, Siwa,
Takiaho and Saab.
Yeah, Manly win for me.
Manly. They lose Tino and lose Mo. Sam Verrills is back for the Titans, who's a good in, but I think they'll be too good, Manly.
All right, and then Sunday afternoon footy at a core stadium. This will be a cracking showdown. Bulldogs up against the Bunnies.
No Latrell, no Cody. Cody's hurt a groin, which is unfortunate for the Bunnies. Joey Gray back to fullback. I think the Dogs.
No burden for the Dogs, which is interesting, even though 18th man, yeah.
Well, Kurt Mann he played that role for Queensland in the first.
Do you think 18th man should
Origin?
play?
Yeah,
I think totally.
They should play club footy.
Club footy.
Yeah.
So they lose 4 players, but Jacob Preston's back. So he's been out for 5 weeks. What did he get suspended for?
Crusher. But he had carryovers.
Yeah.
And they fought it, didn't they?
Yeah, that's right.
And so they got an extra. So there you go. So Bulldogs. Both tipping Bulldogs. All right. A few great games coming up on 9 this weekend. Stick around. We're going to wrap things up after this, and we might get a good story or two. Stay tuned. All right, don't forget as well to send in your best photos. Oh, that's my Siri talking to me. Send in your best photos of you watching Freddy the Eighth and scan the QR code to enter our competition, because we will be taking you and 5 mates out on a boat. It's a full drinks package, bit of food as well. So
now he's found his mojo.
It's gone. I've lost it again.
Mr. Boring's back.
Hey, last time we were in Perth, can I tell the viewers quickly?
Yeah, tell them.
We ended up at a what was it, like a lion dancing bar?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we had Andrew Johns with some of the older, say, clientele in Perth, just taking them all through a bit of a ballroom dancing lesson on the deck.
Nothing.
It was, mind you, about 1 in the morning.
Over 70, 75.
I would say closing in on
I had to
80.
get up the next day and do the Today Show. That was interesting.
That would have been great viewing as well. Thanks so much for joining us here on Freddy and the 8th this week. We hope you enjoy the footy, and we'll catch you from Perth next week ahead of State of Origin. Bye for now.
This has been another presentation from Nine's Wide World of Sports.